All right. Oh, excuse me. I think I'm hitting puberty. All right, everybody. Well, looks like we are once again live. Welcome to another episode of Yankees Live, Murica Guns and Freedom Chat. Speaking of which, someone today made a comment about you're one of those fucking redneck Murica guys and blah, blah. I'm like, you even put it in your chat title. I'm like, do you not realize that that's mocking people that are like that? It's like some of these people are like stoners that watched Beavis and Butthead and thought it was a show for them when it was really a show making fun of them. You know, it's satire, people. I'm not the type to yell Merca. I'm not the type to yell at all. In fact, if you're the type of person that ever goes woo, you're probably not someone I want to spend a lot of time with. I'm a little more reserved than that. But with that being said, pissed off a lot of people today. So I've been dealing with that. That's why I was a few minutes late. I was dealing with some people leaving nasty comments on my Patreon as they unsubbed from Patreon, and people leaving nasty comments on my videos, people accusing me of being an apologist for hate. So they're accusing me of being like some sort of right-wing apologist on one side, and then on the other side, they're saying I'm anti-trans because I don't think children should be able to choose their pronouns or have gender affirming treatments. I'm like, I don't care if they choose their pronouns. Where did I ever say that? But I do not think kids should get gender. I don't think they're should have puberty retarded by medications when they don't even know who or what they are yet. So that's a ridiculous position. And that I do stand behind. I don't believe 8-year-olds should be giving injections so that they don't go through puberty because their mommy and daddy think they might be transsexual just because they like to wear dresses or they like to do things that are considered effeminate. Hell, I like to do stuff that would be considered effeminate when I was a kid. One of my favorite toys was my sister's Easy Bake Oven. I made little cakes all the time in it. That would be considered effeminate. Mainly, I just liked fucking cake. Not fucking cake, but just liked eating cake. But I loved making them the little cakes. So I'd do it all the time. She never played with the motherfucker, so I played with it. Where was I? Like I said, welcome everyone. If you've never been here before, this is just a place to come for an hour a day, have a conversation with like-minded individuals about common interests. It's kind of a unwind zone from your day. Excuse me. You don't have to talk to me if you don't want to. You can talk amongst yourselves over in the live chat. But if you do want to talk to me, that's why I'm here. Seems like today there'd be a lot of people want to talk to me because, like I said, that video kind of screwed the pooch. Well, I didn't really screw the pooch because I mean every bit of what I said and I stand behind it. And I know people aren't going to like that, but I like to chase off certain elements every now and then. So it doesn't do any good to preach to the choir, especially when the choir is, if the choir is in the room and they're yelling at the people you're trying to reach, it doesn't do you any good. So, so fuck them. But like I said, you don't have to talk to me if you don't want to. But if you do want to, that's why I'm here. So you can ask me questions, suggest topics, call me out if you think I'm wrong about something. Feel free to come in, be man enough to come in the chat, state your opinion. Don't attack people from behind a keyboard and be a coward. Come on in and face to face with, not face to face, but we can hear each other at least. You get a lot more across talking than you do typing. Let's just say that. I will try to answer every question and address every topic that comes in. If you put at the Yankee Marshal in front of it, then I will be able to see it and address it. If you do not, I will not see it. So please put at the Yankee Marshal at the beginning of all your questions or comments that are directed at me. I will try to answer all of them. If I can't, I apologize. Sometimes I run out of time. Sometimes I get too many questions. Sometimes I get distracted. Sometimes I get confused. And things just happen. I don't get to all of them. If you want to have a chat question answered immediately and definitely get it answered, or you just want to donate to the Pets and Vets Fund, you can do a super chat like 545 by 39 just did. It seems like there's like 5 people that are 100% supporting the Pets and Vets program right now. And I wish more people would chime in so that they didn't have to share the burden, so we could get our stuff done. If I quit pissing people off, it'd probably work better. It probably wouldn't be so bad if I quit pissing people off. But he said, hopefully I can get the Beretta before the 4th. Freedom gun, P's and D's, also kitty litter. You should have it before the 4th because I think he gets back next week. And it only takes like 2 days to ship it. So, and they're very good about getting things shipped very quickly. So, and since it's coming in while he's gone, it'll already be there when he gets back. So he should get it shipped pretty quickly. I need to get those grips shipped then. But as I was saying, if you want to get something answered immediately, Jay Bean just said, keep passing them off. I think he means pissing them off. And I'm fine to do that. I think most people, it's funny how so many people have not yet figured out that the purpose of this channel is not a business purpose. I am not here to get popular or have a career in show business or become a wheeler dealer in some sort of gun rights group and make a bunch of money. I'm here to spread awareness as far as that's what I want to do. And if it requires getting rid of the loud people who distract from the message, I don't mind getting rid of them. I'd rather stay under 500,000 subscribers and actually have people consider me to be reputable than I would have 1 million subscribers and sell out. You know what I mean? Or have people doubt my credibility. But that was Jay Bean that just donated and got a few entries. Well, 4 entries. Is 4 a few or several? I always think a few is like 3 through 5, and then several's like 6, 7, 8. But I'm not real sure on that. John Mandrick says, have you decided on a barbecue gun for the 4th of July? To be fairly honest with you, I don't even know if I'll be at a barbecue on the 4th of July. I'm sure I'll get invited to some, but getting me to go is another thing altogether. I would much rather just stay up here in my own property, cook out, sit on the deck, watch turnip play in the backyard, check in with my kids as they come and go in their cars and on their motorcycles, etc. And that's what I'd like to do for July 4th. I have no desire to go anywhere or hang out with anyone, especially not into any big areas. I'll probably end up going to a friend's house or something, where there's like 5 or 6 other people, but I don't want to do anything at all, really. My days of celebrating are almost over. I don't really care to get together with big bunches of people. I like one-on-ones, like go to dinner with another couple or meet a friend at the movies. That's the kind of stuff I like to do if I do anything these days. I don't want crowds. I want busy places. We were going to go bowling last night, and then we both kind of looked at each other and said, would you rather just stay home and make taco salad? And I was like, yes, most definitely. But no, I haven't decided on a barbecue yet. I guess that was kind of a long, drawn out answer to that. But Art Denim says, I don't always get to the chats live. I know I don't always see you here. For the Pets and the Vets, great video today. Thank you. It pissed off a lot of people. It's only got a 90% approval rating. Usually my videos have like a 98.5% approval rating. This one, 10% of people disapproved. Well, not really 10% of people that watch it disapprove, because people who are upset are 5 times more likely to vote negatively than people that like it are to vote positively. So there's still a lot of people didn't like it, and they let me know on Patreon and everything else. I'm down $142 today. It was about even right up till today, and now I'm down $152. So that really took a chunk out of that's almost a half. That's about half a gun gone from the TYM Triple P right there. But it's not as bad as it sounds, though, because if I'm looking at the thing here from today, part of that is because someone that was doing, Paul Ash, who was doing one of those big donations to get, to help out temporarily, took it back down to a normal donation. So it was one of those, I'm going to give you extra to help, and now it that just went away. That's not really, that's not losing people. That's just, thank you for helping temporarily. And then you're still helping, but you know what I mean? Know what I mean, Vern? But welcome, Arthur Dunham, for being here. I got two arts that follow me. One of them I ran into at SHOT Show once, but it wasn't this art. It was the different art. The older art. Well, I assume anybody named Art is older. You don't meet a lot of 8-year-olds named Art. 545 by 39 donated to the Pets and Vets Fund and says, I have a 10-day waiting period before I can take it home. Oh, they're giving me a cool down period each time I buy a gun. Yay. Oh, well, maybe you should quit being so hot-headed. Has that pull down period ever stopped you from committing a serious crime? If you say no, I'm going to assume you've been committing serious crimes. If you say yes, I'm going to assume you wanted to. So that's kind of one of those questions. That's like that, have you stopped beating your wife question. It's not really a question you can answer right. We got Clint in Seattle here today, which we don't usually have. Wonder if you got my email, Gays and Guns, today. I agree with you, by the way. I did. I had just read it right as before I came on the air. That was part of, I was reading the correspondence I got via email today, and that was part of it. So I guess I got it. And I agree with you too. So we agree with each other. Be like going to Birmingham at night without a gun. I never did that. Officer Tater Hater donated and got an entry into the friend drawing. You've got a lot of fuddy duddies on your channel, Yank. These Officer Tater lovers need to quit worshiping the thin yellow line when the doo-doo hits the fan. Oh, you're not going to pry their lips off those boots anytime soon. Their tongue is firmly attached to the patent leather in this case. They have been indoctrinated. It is a cult. The people who follow that are just so pro-police, just blindly pro-police, it's a fucking cult, just like any other fucking cult. So getting them out of it, you're going to need a hood, a van, a couple of people to pick them up, a secure location to take them to, and probably a few months of deprogramming. That's the only way you can get them to pry their tongues off the boots. Where am I? Okay, I'm caught up over here. Well, nope, I got one more over here. Let me write down Cop Loving Cult. I might do a video on that. Cop Lover. I almost forgot how to spell cult. I was like, C-O-C, what? No. 545 by 39 chimed in once again here and says, yeah, another thing that stops crime is that you can only buy one new gun a month in California. People won't commit crimes with an old gun. Has to be new. So that's what I say every time they give me a delay on my guns. It's like, thank God they delayed me. That I wouldn't want to use one of the other dozens of firearms that I have. I needed this one specifically to commit a crime. It doesn't make sense when someone is a gun owner to start delaying them if they already have fucking guns. Doesn't make sense. Anyone who's got a carry permit should never, ever have to go through a background check. Period. Period. I don't know what that means, but I see people say it. Where am I at? Let me get over here and try to see if there's any questions coming in over here on the freeloader side. Good evening. I always think of Vincent Price when I hear someone say good evening. But who else is that does that? Oh, God. It's not Doris Karloff. It's someone else. Someone was claiming the 40 is dead, and I responded saying, no, it's not. Well, that was a very deep, involved argument. I agree with you in the argument. I don't think 40 is dead. These things, everyone is so quick to declare a round is dead or blah, 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 when it falls out of being the flavor of the month. It's like 10 millimeter came around. To hear a lot of people, you would think 10 millimeter just came around in the last few years and it revolutionized cartridges. No, it's been around for a long time. It just fell out of favor and you didn't see it for a while. And then it came back into favor. So just what happens. It's the flavor of the month. 25 ACP is, I would say, closer to dead because it's not dead because there's still thousands of guns out there, but not a lot being made in 25 ACP. And it was, let's just face it, it was never a very effective cartridge. I mean, it's effective. You stick it in someone's face, pull the trigger, they're going to be really upset with you, but they're not going to be able to deal with it right away, I would say. But still, not the best caliber ever. But things like 357 Magnum, 9 millimeter, 40. We got a super chat coming in from Austin Roberts. It says, the thing I hate most is on the NFA. Why can't we set up an account and do the wait once? This just add items whenever you want. Well, why in a day of today's technology does it take so long anyway? Why can't you just go up to a kiosk at the gun shop, type in your information, give your ID number, whatever, and them go, oh, okay, yep, you've got no bad background. Here's your tax stamp, and just print it out. There's no reason they couldn't do that. The only one of the reasons they don't do stuff like that is because the government is so behind as far as technology is concerned. I went into a government office not too long ago for a permit back when I owned the bar. They still had Macintoshes sitting on their desk, like the bright green and purple Macintoshes. Still had those on the desks in the county clerk office. And this was back when I owned the bar, so it wasn't that long ago. Krashnikev says, good video today. What is a good AR for young lesbian, my 12-year-old daughter? Well, I don't know. Probably whatever's good for a man if she's a 12-year-old lesbian. She's like most of the lesbians I know. Of course, you got to remember, I know Pacific Northwest lesbians. Pacific Northwest lesbians pretty much crawl right out of the womb in flannel with a wallet chain and can bench 250. So they're a little scarier than regular lesbians. So I tend to my judgment is clouded. But AR is not a hard hitting round. Pretty much any good AR. I mean, just start them with something that's that you'd start a 12-year-old on. Oh, you said she's 21. Oh, I thought you said 12. 21, yeah, anything. Like my son Caden, who I would consider probably slightly less capable physically than a equally aged lesbian. He can handle pretty much any AR, so I think she could too. I mean, as far as whether it should be pink or not or anything like that, I mean, is she a lipstick lesbian? Is she a bull dyke lesbian? Is she, there's all kinds of different lesbians, and this is not being judgy. This is just saying that lesbians are people, and there's all kinds of different types of them. So, one of them might love a pink AR, and the other one might just punch you in the nose if you try to give them a pink AR. So it's based on the person. But at that age, she should be able to handle anything. Like I said, not a real hard-hitting gun. But that was Krostakef using his member chat. He has been a member for 3 months. Corey Long did a super chat here. Says, howdy, Yankee. How goes it? Did you get your other house sold yet for the fur babies? No, we haven't got it sold yet. We haven't really had it on the market yet. I think the auction is happening this week sometime or this weekend, something. I'm not really in the mix very much because I don't like my brother-in-law. But I mean, I just don't like him. Never liked him. Plus, he's a Trumper. I'm not a big fan of people who worship politicians. If you are that much in love with any politician, there's something wrong with you as far as I'm concerned. That's why people get on me about you're this side or you're that side. You like this you make excuses for these ones, and how can you support Trump? I'm like, I don't support any politician. I think they're all disgusting. I try to deal with uh, uh, policy. If they do something I like that I think is good for the country, I give them credit for that. If they do something bad, I hold them accountable for that. I spend most of my time bitching about Democrats because of what they're doing, like attacking Schiff or Pelosi or those guys. But that doesn't mean I don't have just as many problems with Republicans too, because I definitely do, just on different issues. Like if I sat down right now and had a conversation with Ted Cruz about gun rights, I think he and I'd get along just fine. If I sat down right now and had a conversation with Ted Cruz about a multitude of other social issues, I think by the end of it, I'd punch him in the nose. But, that's the way I think it is with most politicians. But no, it's not sold yet. Hopefully the auction will go well, get rid of the stuff in the house, and then we can get the house sold. The realtor keeps calling us like, when's the auction? And I'm like, don't talk to me. I don't know. I say that a lot about a lot of things. Especially with my kids. I'm like, don't ask me. How the fuck would I know? That's what I usually say. Avo357 donated to the Pets and Vets Fund and says, good evening, Yanks. What's a good 40 cal semi small enough to carry in a pocket like a car? P40 thoughts. Well, the car, that's probably one of the smallest ones you're going to find. I don't know a lot of other guns that are small that are actually chambered in 40. They're mostly big guns that are usually a lot of times guns that were based on designs for 45 ACP and then get cut down. So I don't know of a lot of them that are very small. I think you named it right there, that the car is going to be the smallest option you can get. There might be something smaller. I'm looking around trying to jar my memory. Like, no, if they make any little, who makes a 40 caliber? I know Charter Arms does, like a little J frame size 40. That could be small enough possibly to put in your pocket, but still, I think the car would still have the advantage. So I think you named it right off the bat. Iowa Joe did a super chat here, got entry in the friend drawing, says Iowa exists, Yankee is a werewolf. I think we all know that Iowa Joe's crazy and that no one should pay attention to what he says because he's crazy. If I was a werewolf, would I be trying to sell everybody? Would I be promoting silver bullets like I did all the time? Hell, I right now will say, if it wasn't for me, there would be no live silver ammo on the market that you can buy. And I don't feel like I'm being grandiose or self-important by saying that. That's the truth. If I hadn't brought Storm and Norman together with Minuteman ammo, it never would have happened. And now we got werewolf ammo available. They're getting ready to make Lone Ranger ammo with some more like, Western calibers and stuff, which I definitely want some of that. Because it'd be a great gift if someone's a Lone Ranger fan to get them a silver bullet, even if it is like $100 and something bucks, because it's something that they're not going to have, and it's something you can always treasure. And you might someday have to shoot a werewolf with it. And wouldn't it be nice to know, like, oh fuck, there's werewolves outside. Hey, someone gave me a silver bullet for my birthday 3 years ago, and it's on my dresser upstairs. I'm going to go get that silver bullet. And you pop a werewolf, and the rest of the werewolves go away. They don't know you just have one. So, or you can always get more if you want. I would say 3 is a minimum number to have, because you want to be able to shoot one werewolf, and then when they say maybe he just has one silver round, and werewolves are usually lone animals, they don't usually come in packs. So, but in case they ever do, you pop one, they go, I think that's it. That's all I had was one. You pop one more, and then they're like, oh, fuck, no, he's got more than one. And then they all leave. And you still got one left in the barrel just in case someone feels smart or lucky. So I think 3 is a good number to have. Oops. I'm getting distracted easy today, going off on rants. Clit in Seattle says, Not pink. A lesbian needs a purple AR. Is that a lesbian color? Because I might be a lesbian. Because when I was younger, I was very into purple. Because I liked Prince, so I painted my bedroom purple. I had a bed that had, the Prince uh, uh, emblem and stuff on it that I made because I can do woodworking and stuff. So I was very, very much into Prince. That was like my identity for a couple of years. So, well, several. I really liked Prince for his entire career, pretty much, but I liked purple because of that. I also like pink. I remember I've sold this before. We went to Myrtle Beach and I bought a pink web belt with my initials on it and a pair of pink and white checkered Skechers, those checkered, not Skechers. What are they called? Are they Converse? But they're like the boat shoes. I forget, but they're, checkered. I got pink and white checkered ones. And I remember going back to school, and I remember my mom was like, "You're not going to wear that to school, are you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm wearing my pink and white checkered shoes and my pink belt." She's like, "You're going to get picked on." And I'm like, "We'll see." I didn't really. Because people know I'd fucking kick them in the throat. I mean, even if they're tougher than me, they're like, "Yeah, I'll probably whip his ass, but he's going to fucking bite me and scratch me." And because I'll come at you with like a tornado made out of teeth and fingernails. In fact, I'll bite you on the balls. I've threatened to bite someone's balls off before. We were wrestling, and I got him to where he was on the ground. I had my knee on his chest, and I had his leg up, and I was on top, and he was swinging at me, trying to hit me in the side of the head. And I said, "You hit me one more fucking time." We were in gym clothes because it was out behind the gym during gym class. I said, "You hit me in the head one more time, I'm going to fucking bite your balls off." And I meant it too. And I think he knew I meant it because we quit fighting. Same guy that kicked my ass like 2 weeks earlier. I didn't want him kicking my ass again. But he had friends with him last time. He didn't have no friends that time. It was in gym class. Flash in the Pan says, after donating to the Pets and Vets Fund, considering buying Beretta's new APX-A1 9mm. Oh, considering buying Beretta's new APX-1 9mm. I would be willing to bet that it's a very nice gun. Wow, that was a long one. We went behind a tree there. But I would definitely consider buying one if I was into polymer guns. So I endorse your decision. You have my seal of approval. Not that you needed it, but you got it, whether you want it or not. Corey Long donated to the Pets and Vets Fund, says, Iowa doesn't exist, and Yankee, you promote silver bullets as a cover to hide you being a werewolf. That's just crazy talk. I'd be willing to become a werewolf. The world needs more ginger werewolves oh, no, we do. For the fur babies. That choked me up. No, we don't need more ginger werewolves. There's enough ginger werewolves. They're gross. Can't go anywhere with them. They can't go to the beach. Can't be out in the sun. They're just the worst. I actually watched a fairly decent werewolf movie last night. What was that called? It's called The Cursed. It was a weird take on werewolves, but it was still pretty much a werewolf movie, silver bullets and all. But it was pretty good. I was actually very good cinematic quality, decent story. I enjoyed it. It's hard to find good werewolf movies. But yeah, no, we don't need more ginger werewolves. Drew McTigu. Prince is amazing. I was sad when he died. I was very sad when he died too. And I didn't even know him, but I was sad. Because, that means no more music from Prince. And not just music of his, but music he writes for other people. Yeah, I know there's a lot of unreleased stuff that could come out, and has been coming out. But if it's unreleased, it probably wasn't the great stuff. But although all of it's pretty good. I can't name an album he had that I didn't like. That's very rare for a long term artist who puts out a lot of stuff. I mean, there's like some albums some people put out that I usually like that I just don't care for. And I don't think I ever disliked one of his. Did you see my email with the subject Werewolf Comic? I saw it, but I didn't get to open it. It was right before the chat. Where did it go? I think I can find it. I was busy disconnecting my bias hat when it came in, but oh yeah, that's one of my favorite, absolute favorite Far Side. I'll show it to people here just in case they don't know which one I'm talking about. This here is one of my favorite all-time Far Sides. Oh yes, I guarantee these bullets are pure silver. Moments before he was ripped to shreds, Edgar vaguely recalled having seen that same obnoxious tie earlier in the day. One of my favorites, Far Side cartoons. That and the one where like you see a painter's easel and you see a guy who's being painted and he's like human, but then on the right side he starts to turn into a werewolf, and then the painting's unfinished and there's a full moon outside the window and nobody's in the frame anymore because he's eating the guy painting the painting. Where am I? Emmanuel Fernandez says, I hate to be redundant, but I want y'all to know I freaking love my SIG. Yes, we know. Well, it's a good gun. The 2022s were also ahead of their time, I think. You can get those in 40. You didn't get 40. Did you get 9mm or 40? I can't remember. But I remember you got it. That's pretty good for me. I don't remember what I got last, probably. Oops. Super Freak donated to the Pets and Vets and says, for the P's and the V's. Super freaky. Down. The Curse is a good movie. Yeah, I thought it'd be good. I watched it last night. It was good. For a movie to keep my attention the whole 2 hours is pretty good. And I wasn't even on my phone. The first 20 minutes, okay, I was on my phone. But after that, I was starting to pay attention. Eric Harry says, woo. I don't know if he means woo, like woo, or does he mean like woo, like Ric Flair? Because in that case, if you're doing homage to Ric Flair, I'm okay with that. Now, Texas DPS Chief Stephen McGraw sounds sanctimonious as he condemns the Uvalde Police Department. Now he says they did not follow procedure. Well, because he's trying to save himself. Now I hear the door wasn't even locked. The kid just went in and shut the door. They never tried to enter. Whether that's true or not, I don't know yet, but that looks like that's the current information. I will say, though, in their defense, in the original transcripts, the calls back and forth between the police and the dispatch, I think they said that after they saw him, he went into a classroom and locked the door. But how do they know that if they didn't go up and try the door? I think they just said, well, he probably locked that, so let's go back outside. I do not give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's just say that at this point. I think anyone gives them the benefit of the doubt is insane. By requiring that all non-female swimmers transition before age 12, FINA is incentivizing trans-curious athletes under 12. I really don't know how much of an incentive it is, because here's the thing. If you're not trans, if you're not legitimately transsexual, you're not going to claim to be transsexual, and you're not going to live a lifestyle of transsexual just to compete in a fucking college level sport or even Olympic level sport. You're not going to do it. For one, all the shame you endure and the hassle you endure. So I don't think anyone's going to start the transition just because, hey, that means I'll be able to compete. Because if they start transitioning before 12, then they won't have an advantage. They will not. There's no guarantee they'd even be winning anything because they won't have any physical advantage. So I don't think it'll incentivize anyone because, like I said, if you're not trans, you're not trans. But I do think it's necessary to say that trans women, and plus they know there's not going to be very many, any, if any, that transition before 12. I don't think that should be legal even. I'm sorry. I don't think it should be legal for a 12-year-old to not only not transition, but not to be taking any type of medication that retards their normal physical development. You can damage that person for life. That's not a decision they're capable of making. That's bad parenting, as far as I'm concerned. Any parent that would do that is the worst. Any doctor that would help them do that should lose their license. And that's just the way I feel about that. Please, but I did think the same thing that you said. Like, what are they doing? They're saying that if you want to, you got to do it before 12. But then I'm like, well, then they wouldn't have an advantage because they'd never have been a man. So they would have never. So that, yeah, you probably wouldn't even know. Please respond in the comment section to the comment from Gerald Scott in your video today. I don't know if I can find comments based on someone's name. I can look and see. No, that says value. What's that? Gerald. I'll see if I can find anything. I don't see any. Let me go back to here. Let me list comments. Open link in new tab. Let me just see if I can see a Gerald. There's been a lot of comments come in, so I don't see a Gerald. I'm assuming you mean on my video from today. Is that what he says? In your video today, yeah. So I'm not seeing anything. Maybe it got deleted. Maybe, because sometimes people will put something up and then when it gets bad negative response, they delete it. But I'm not seeing it. I'll search again. Contains questions. I'm searching for Gerald. I'm not seeing anything. Wait, here, maybe this is it. No, that's 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. The only thing I've got from him is from at least 3 weeks ago. Oh, no, wait, 2 weeks ago. It's the only thing I got from him recently is from, but if he made a comment today, he must have deleted it because. Let me get back over here. I think I missed a super chat. Yes, it was from Don Mason. Who does anybody else when they picture Don Mason? Do they picture, the old vaudevillian Jewish comedian? What's his name? Something Mason. I'm blanking on it. But that's who I picture every time I hear his name. I'm waiting on an 18-year-old legal adult to sue the parents that let them change sex at an early age. You know it will happen eventually. Oh, yeah, they'll sue their parents for, you fucked up my life by allowing me to make that decision when I was 12. Yeah, it's going to happen. And I hope it does. I hope they take them to court, take them to the cleaners. It's a cruel thing to do to your child. Now, a lot of people try to use the argument, well, it's cruel to make them live in a life where they're not what they feel they are. When they're 12, they don't know what they are. So let them experiment with whatever they want to experiment with. Let them be called her if they want to be called her. Let them wear dresses if they want to wear dresses. Let them play baseball if they want to play baseball. There should be no gender requirements on any child. Just do what you want to do, be who you want to be, no matter what sex you are, whether you're male or female. Choose whatever gender roles you want to be associated with and whichever ones you want to claim as your own. And let's strive for a world where everyone is supportive of that. And they aren't forced into anything. And then when they're adults, they can start making decisions for themselves. And that way they don't endure any mistreatment or abuse or discrimination. I think most people, even on the far right, who don't like transgender people right now, or that are being very anti-trans, they probably wouldn't have an opinion about transgender one way or the other if it wasn't for hot button topics like transitioning 12-year-olds. And that's not a mainstream belief. No, not I guarantee you not even 1 out of 1,000 Democrats think you should allow a 12-year-old to transition medically, either with drugs or surgery. Probably not 1 in 1,000, but it's a big issue because the woke far left makes it an issue. And that's because they have to come up with things to keep people divided on. If everyone just went, you do what you want to do, and I'm going to do what I want to do, as long as you don't hurt somebody else or a child or whatever, we're okay. If that ever happens, they're fucking out of jobs. They don't want that. They'd have to start doing work to get elected, and they don't want that. Where am I here? Light blue oyster cult. Oyster cult says, which division should Thai ladyboys compete in? I don't think a lot of Thai ladyboys compete in sports. Well, I mean, I guess there could be some sports like, ping pong shooting, distance competitions, and things like that. But as far as like playing professional sports, I don't think there's a lot of interest there. And when there's interest, I think that they should play on whatever sex they were given it as at birth, whatever sex they were. I don't care what gender they are now. Although I think most people prefer their ladyboys to be post-op, no, I don't think that's true. I think most of them actually prefer pre-op. I think it's a very specific fetish. I don't go down that road very much because I'm not even that attracted to Asians. So much less Asians with multiple genitalia, not that they have multiple. They're not, the vagina and penis. They're not hermaphrodites or intersex, whatever the proper term is. They're just drag queens mostly, I think, or a version. The Jackie Mason, that was the name I was trying to remember earlier. Mike Thompson donated to the Pets and Vets Fund. Got a couple entries in the friend drawing. Said, received my first Lobo gun leather holster for my Wilson Combat SFX9. Love it. Thanks for the tip. Yeah, they're great holsters. Did you get the enhanced pancake? Is that what you got? Because that's what I like. Where am I at? Let me see where I'm at on the. Clinton Seattle donated once again and says, Gerald's comment is still there. He went on a long tirade and concluded by recommending that you burn in HE double toothpicks. Why is it not showing up when I search for it? I mean, those are the ones I usually read mostly. I'm going to comments. Let me just do the comments on this video. Open link in new tab. It's on today's video, right? I'm not seeing anything from it. And when I search by his name, I get ones from like a week ago, but I don't get anything now. I'll tell you one thing I like to do when people do these long ranting, like 8-paragraph comments on my videos, most of which they cut and paste from something. I like to just delete them so that they went to all that work for nothing. When they're being dicks, I just like to just not even respond, just delete it. Because then they're like, where'd my fucking highway? I worked on that for an hour. It's funny. I'm still not seeing it. You don't know me. Bye, Felicia. Someone just said bye, Felicia, to bike racer dude. He said, unsub because Yankee Marshall is a Democrat. I'm not a Democrat, never been a Democrat. And not an American in his beliefs. Yankee Marshall fears freedom. How did they get that from that video? Some people, like I said, their head's so far up their fucking ass in their little cults, they don't understand what's going on in the world at all. Or they just didn't watch the video, but America. Oh, that's what he wrote first. Yeah, he's a fucking piece of shit. Let's get rid of him. Da-da. Good Lord. People said, could you show me where it said that in the use that box in front of you and stop being willfully ignorant. All right, let me get back over here because I know I missed another a lovely man. Yeah, I still don't see it. I don't. Let me try searching again. Search for value. Search Gerald. Nothing. No comments found on this video. Oh, maybe it's under held for review. No, it's not held for review. It's just not here. I don't think there's any held for review. I don't really have anything set to where it holds things for review. Let's see. Where am I at? Lead on Steel says, for the kiddies. Hope you and your family are doing well. We're roasting here in South Carolina with the heat. Today was our first really sunny day. It was probably about 65 degrees and sunny outside, which means it was probably about 75 down in the city. Because, we're about 10 degrees cooler up here usually, which is one of the good things about being up here. So it was beautiful today. Just absolutely beautiful. Turnip spent most of his day outside. He likes to go out. He likes to lay on the sun in the deck. Occasionally, if I don't see him, I have to go out there and look. And he's usually hunkered down in the bushes behind the planters because he's trying to hunt bunnies. So I have to spoil his hunting and say, Turnip, get out of there. And he gets upset. He just stands up and looks at me like I wasn't doing nothing and walks away. But yeah, it's beautiful here. It's not super hot here like it is there. That's why I'm glad I don't live in a hot climate because it's just going to get worse. That's nicer up here. We got more room to wiggle. We got more room to wiggle on our temperatures. Let me make sure I got everything over here. I do believe I do. What time are we at? Well, we've only got like 12 minutes left. You're wrong, Yankee. Colon carry is not comfortable without lube if you're an amateur. See, the problem with lube is how do you keep it in there? I shot a Chris Vector CRB. It was nice. Have you ever shot one? I'm not a Chris Vector fan. Those things, like, that's awful big for a pistol. I'm just like, I don't care for it. They're cool looking, but I remember once I went into the Chris Vector booth at SHOT Show and they asked me how come I haven't bought one yet. And I'm like, because I have eyes and I can see that ugly fucking thing. Cindy Thomas said, I wish there was a way y'all could link me to his comment. So I suppose you are pro-abortion. Not really. Probably pro-transgender too. Yeah, if someone wants to be. Maybe even a pedophile, abnormal. Absolutely. Yeah, you're just a... Yeah, he's just a piece of shit. Let me see if I can find him again so I can just ban him. Let me see here. They go to all comments. Could someone... that didn't show me the top of that for some reason, so I want to make sure I ban the right person. It was Gerald Scott. Is that what we're saying? Let me search. Gerald. I got him here, but he's just saying like private property is private property. That's the only thing I got him for. Gerald Scott, Gerald space SCOT. Is that him? because I don't know. I took screenshots of Daryl's tirade and emailed you. Well, I see one, but I don't see the top where it's. Okay, there it is, right there. 1 hour ago. I don't have it at all. The Republican Party needs to be set back at least 50 years. So does almost every American. 50 years ago, we had more. Oh, fuck off. How do I ban this guy for good? Block user. Submit. Yeah, racist fucking bigot. I can't stand racist bigots. I'm glad most of them are dying. Unfortunately, they are spreading their racist bigotry. Like my sister's a bigot because my father was one and raised her. But she's not as bigoted as he is. So, Krashnikev says lots of people today don't know what freedom actually means, by the way. Yeah, they're a lot of stupid people. You know that the other channels will be like, he fucking this and he said this and he said that. And half the time it's not even stuff I said. They just don't bother to watch the video. You sound like a dick. Blocked. You're right. I have to agree with you. Let's see here. He set himself up for that. That was too easy. Where am I over here? Did you get my email about my competition holster? Yeah, I responded. So hopefully you saw that. I responded. But yeah, I responded. Where am I? I agree that surgical reassignment for anyone under 18 is wrong. Are you against all of the other treatments available, like IA medication for a minor if it's the child's choice? Yes, I'm against anything that can physically damage and alter their normal development while they're a child. That's not a decision they should be making. Puberty is natural and it's awesome. And it also changes a lot of opinions and changes a lot of priorities. So it should be allowed to happen. That same little boy who wants to play with Barbie dolls and wear a dress when he's 10 might be a lot different when he's 15 because of his natural changes to his body and his body chemistry. So to deny a child that is child abuse as far as I'm concerned. I'm okay with everything else, like pronouns and how they dress, grow their hair out and wear it in pigtails, want to be called, he or she. I don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. I don't judge anybody by that stuff. And I don't really think it's anybody's business but their own. But when you start altering the natural development of a child, that is child abuse. Where was I? Dom Reloaded donated to the Pets and Vets Fund and said, went to a gun show for the first time in a long time and scored me a nice Rossi 357 carbine. Not many Trump worshipers either, just gun nuts like myself. Well, that's always good. Well, the Trump worshipers are a small group. They're just very loud. And they're usually only loud when they're around other Trump worshipers. They don't want to risk rocking the boat when they're not the majority. But it's nice. Second, Rossi 357 carbine is also nice. I think Never FINA has one of those, if I'm not mistaken. Where were we at here? But like I was saying, he asked me about the medications for under 18. That is not something I think even the most people on the left agree with. I don't think most gay people would agree with that. I don't think most trans people would agree with that. I think most trans people, and having known several, I will say that they would be like, a little boy or a girl should get to live their life the way they want without judgment or recrimination or abuse. And then when they're an adult, they can make any change they want and people shouldn't care. I'm even okay with it being covered by insurance, things like that, because it's so rare. But I don't think allowing 10-year-olds to take medication to retard puberty is a popular opinion with anybody. It is the fringe. It is the fringe that puts that stuff forward just so that, and they're just being manipulated by politicians and other public people so that they will uh, create division. And that's all it is. Most people on the right don't hate black people, don't hate gay people, don't even care if someone's transgender. You know, I don't think that's a popular opinion. I don't think that it's a popular opinion among most people on the right that gay marriage shouldn't be a thing. Most people on the right I've known believe gay marriage is fine. Why shouldn't everyone be able to get married? But as far as like if you listen to people like the radicals in Texas, you'd think completely different. So people need to quit paying attention to the radicals. We need to, and every time politicians pump them up and push them to the forefront, we should start being like, yeah, I'm not voting for you anymore. Unfortunately, what they've done is they've made a concerted effort on both sides to take over at local levels because no one else wants to be the unpaid supervisor of, blah, blah, blah in bumfuck Texas or bumfuck Maine. They don't want to do that job, but the radicals do. They want to do it because they want to be able to spread their radicalism. So you end up with these local level organizations and state organizations being controlled by the fringe because nobody else wants to do it. And that's not a good thing. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's the way people are going to vote. We're getting off on a tangent today. Da-da-da. Holy moly, I can see you in perfect detail. Yes, Skidmark hadn't been here in a while. I think reassignment surgery should have to wait till at least 25. I think at 18, they should be allowed to start. I mean, that's an adult. So if we want to change that, I'm all for that. I'm okay with changing till you're not an adult till you're 25. I would be fine with that. I would compromise and say 21 with some people. And then we could all live happily with 21. I think that would be a good compromise. But as of right now, 18's your legal adult. Now, whether a doctor will actually work with you or not, that's a different question. I don't think any doctor should work with you until you've gone through confirmation therapy. Not like saying, okay, you're a man, but you feel like you're a woman, so you're broken. We're going to go try to fix you. Just, okay, you're in a certain situation. You're making a very difficult choice. Let's make sure you know you're making the right choice. And then we'll support you 100% of the way. I think everyone should go through that. And then, once you're 18, then you can start taking all the medications. And then after you've done that, there should be a certain amount of time you have to do that. And that should be the doctors doing that and the patients agreeing to it. It shouldn't be the federal government stepping in and saying, you have to do it for 3 years before you can get surgery. No, the people who provide the service, especially like if it's being paid for you by your insurance should be able to say, okay, take the meds, live your life as a woman or a man, whatever you're transitioning to, do that for 2 years. And then if you still want the surgery, and you've gone through the confirmation therapy, you'll have the surgery because now there's less chance of you making a mistake. Most good doctors, you don't see a lot of transsexuals feeling like they fucked up later. Most everyone I've ever known is always like, I am so happy now. I'm so much more balanced and more well adjusted. It's just my life is better. And that's the vast majority. But there are those. I know one person who really, really regretted it. And he got it done in Argentina. And he really, really, really regretted it afterwards. And if he would have went through the process I just talked about, he probably would have never made that decision. And he would have been better off now. But it's not something you can easily reverse. It's not reversible. So they don't like keep your dick in a jar. and put it back on if you want it later. Not how it works. Yeah, I wish we could just develop something that, like, okay, we put you in a room and we blast you with a machine, and it alters your DNA from XX or from XY to XX or from XX to XY, and just boom, you're a woman all of a sudden. That'd be awesome if we could do that, especially if it was reversible and you could change it like from week to week. Hell, if I was going on a cruise or something, I might want to be turned into a woman. So that case, in the case the ship goes down, I get to get in one of the lifeboats. Especially being old and a woman, I'd be one of the first ones put on the boat. Thoughts on the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 compact? Had a friend pick one up today. I'm not the biggest M&P fan. I mean, I know they're decent. I don't dislike them. I don't think they're bad guns. I just think the looks of them is a little show. The scallops and stuff, it's a little much on a black polymer gun. I just don't like the look, the feel. The 2.0 grip is so much better than it was originally, but I still don't love it. It's not something I'm like, oh, I got to get me some of that. No, it's just not. I'm not that in love with it or anything. Where are we? I do not know where I'm at here. Let's thoughts, but that's what who is Officer Tater and why do we hate him? Because he's a boot licking, thin blue line towing, lying piece of shit. At least I think that's why we hate him. Might be other reasons. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like dogs or something. I'm going to blend two of your favorite topics together. What do you think of Megatron, the P-38 Transformer? Well, that's not two of my favorite topics. I mean, I like the Transformers, but I think you're thinking of Matt. He loves the Transformers. But I've always liked Megatron. I will have to say the only Transformer I've ever had, because you got to remember, I was like 16 when they came out or something like that, was the Megatron that turned into the P-38. That's the only one I've ever had. And I put that thing together and it sat in my room for it, or put him in the form of the gun, and he sat in my room for a very long time. And he was in the trunk of my car for a very long time for some reason that I don't remember now. But I remember that's how I ended up losing him. He was in the trunk of my car, and I traded it in and didn't get him out. And my sunglasses. Let's see here. Where are we? What is someone saying? It's not really a joke, although you try and make it one. It's actually quite serious, and I'm studying the way they move. I thought I'd share it with others. What? Damien defends pedophiles and Satanists and mocks and gaslights. Ugh. Let's just get rid of that guy too. I don't need any of that in this chat. Let's see, where are we? Yes, I don't need conspiracy theorists. We got E Honda. That's enough. That's all we need. We have our fill of conspiracy theorists. And even he's not like that kind of fucking nutty. The devil, that kind of shit. Fuck you. The devil ain't never gave me any problem because he doesn't exist. People, however, give me lots of problems in my life. I've never had to punch the devil in the face. I've had to punch people in the face before. The devil's never punched me in the face, but people have punched me in the face before. So I ain't fucking worried about some fictional devil. I'd rather worry about people. All right, we are out of time, and I really got to go pee. I'm pretty much okay with everything. Just don't get in my face, Texas Libertarian who votes Republican. I'm the same way. I just don't. As long as you're not trying to tell someone else how to live and you're not harming anyone else, you do what you want to do. Now, you do have to take into consideration that your rights end where someone else's begins or mine begins. Like you can't say, this is my property. I'm going to burn a coal fire 24/7 on it, and the smoke is blowing over into your neighbor's house. Well, no, now you're harming somebody. So there are limits on your freedom. But as long as you're not harming anybody else, who cares? If it's two consenting adults living their life the way they want to live their life, believing the things they want to believe, I don't give a fuck. As long as you're not like, making my life harder. All right, where are we here? I think we're done. We are past our time. So I want to thank everybody for coming today. I've really got to go piddle. That's why my rocking has changed. But I hope everyone comes back again tomorrow. We'll be on at 5 p.m. Pacific time, which I have to get out at 6 because we're going to go eat Japanese food tomorrow. I love to go eat my Japanese food. So thanks everyone for coming. I do appreciate it. I will see you all again tomorrow. That is, if I haven't been chased off YouTube because of my video today. We'll have to see. But thanks for coming. Like I said, I'll see you tomorrow. Till then, remember, everyone, always carry and stay safe till I see you again.